Today we're going to be looking at the Wuben XO Brass, and I finally got hold of one of these. I've always been curious, and especially when a new and unique flashlight comes out, this one definitely meets the mark. And anyone unfamiliar with modern flashlights probably will be confused looking at this light. It doesn't look like your traditional flashlight. It reminds me of one of those little flying robots in Half-Life I used to play, and that would just follow you around. It doesn't look like a flashlight at all. So being made of brass, this thing has a bit of heft to it. Feels twice as heavy as my aluminum version, and really like the overall machining and finish. Wuben's X series just absolutely flawless in my opinion, and there's no coating on the metal, so it's going to develop a nice patina over time. I think it's already starting to develop a little bit of coloration. I know some people like to speed that process up by using different chemicals and stuff like that. When I initially took it out of the vacuum bag that it came in, it was definitely shinier. And I really like these angular cutouts everywhere on it, and just makes it look quite unique, but there's no sharp edges. It's one of those lights that's just fun to play around on your desk. Makes a great fidget toy too, especially with that blue lid. And, you know, there's different areas, numerous areas to install tritium or glow tubes. See here on the side, even on the head there, on the back of the light as well. My version came with the Nichia 519A, and this produces less light, but it's a high CRI LED, meaning that you can recognize colors better. It comes with a very unique TIR lens here, which is almost like a combination of a reflector / TIR, because there is reflective material at the back of the lens itself, which helps improve throw. It's kind of like I wouldn't say it's orange peel, but there is an interesting kind of pattern to it. This special lens produces a 180-degree beam, so you can see all the way into your peripherals, but it also produces a focused hotspot with this center portion of the lens there. It's one of my favorite beam profiles. It's very practical, get the best of both worlds. There's some kind of retaining ring here that holds the lens in, that's also made of brass. The great thing as well is that you can actually replace the 18350 cell in this light. You can unscrew the back and access that light, and I think that's really important for long-term use, and because all these batteries start to wear out over time. Also has a magnet there on the back, blue pocket clip here, and this is held to the body with 2 screws here on the side. They can Torx screws, pretty rigid sort of pocket clip, and clamps down hard on whatever you're clipping it to. Probably wondering how you charge this light. So you basically flip up this blue lid, and that exposes the USB-C charging port there. There's a couple of magnets that just hold it shut. Okay, I'm often just doing this sort of thing, like it's just fun to play around with it. Probably worth mentioning as well that the port is waterproofed. So I'll go through how the light works. I've got it locked at the moment, so when you press a button, you can see here it just flashes. Click 4 times and it unlocks and switches on to the lowest mode. Switch off. Click another 4 times and it flashes, and that's how you basically lock the light. When the light's unlocked, switch it on, it remembers the last mode that you had it in, and you just press and hold, okay, to go through all these different modes. Okay, you can access strobe by double pressing this back button while the light is off. Okay, in order to access turbo mode, you need to turn the light on, and then activate the turbo mode by double pressing. So if you are actually in turbo mode and then you double press again, it's just going to go to strobe. So you have to turn the light off, turn it on, and then reactivate turbo if you need to. You can also put the light to SOS mode, so double press, get into strobe, double press again, and then it will go into the SOS mode. Okay, shortcut to moonlight, just press and hold, okay, like that. Another interesting thing you get with this light is that you have this ability to program each of the different modes. So let me show you how that works. So basically, say you're on this mode, that's the lowest mode. You click and then click hold. Okay, you can see the light ramps up. Click hold again, and then it will ramp down. Okay, it sort of ramps up and down. Okay, and you can just release, and that's like the lowest part of the ramp. So that when you turn the light on again, it remembers that for that first step mode. Okay, and you can do this for each mode. So if you want all of the modes to start off in a lower setting, lower lumen, you can do that. Or if you want them to start off a little bit higher. Okay, so it kind of just allows you to alter the ceiling. So I ran a bunch of ceiling bounce tests, and you can see here I've activated turbo, and you get around about 20 to 30 seconds before the light steps down to about 50% of its output. I've actually went back after, activated turbo again about 4 different times, and you get that same sort of pattern, that same step down pattern. The light did not feel hot at all. It was slightly warm. Here's another ceiling bounce test that I ran on the highest step mode, so the one just under turbo. And the great news is that it managed to maintain 100% output way beyond the 10-minute mark. So it's really good for me to see that there is a proper high mode in there that can have sustained output. Some considerations you might want to be aware of with this light: it is pretty heavy. Okay, if you're buying this in brass though, I think you know what you're getting into. You want something that has a little bit more heft to it, feels unique, looks unique, so that's why I got it. There is an aluminum version that's half the weight if that's an issue for you. The second thing as well is that, again, it has an 18350 cell. It's a small light. You're not going to be getting a huge amount of output from this light and sustained runtimes if you're just hitting that turbo mode all the time, but definitely on the high mode and even the medium mode, you're going to get some decent runtime out of this. I've always wanted a light made out of raw brass. No kind of coatings, plastic coatings or anything like that on the outside. I think this one is just perfect. I love the look of it. It's not as heavy as my copper Convoy S2 Plus. And yeah, it's just got a pleasant weight to it. Like the accented blue, sort of yellow color of the brass together. So if you're looking for a unique EDC, just light to use around the house as well, make sure you check it out. I've left a link in the description. If you have any questions, let me know below and I'll get back to you. If you like the video as well, do me a favor and click the like button so that it helps spread my video around to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews, make sure you subscribe. Wuben XO, and I'm going to put it right on the lowest mode. Can't really see that. Okay, hold again. Second mode. Okay, third mode. Okay, so that's like kind of a medium mode there. High mode. All right, now that's where we're getting serious. You can see into the field. You can see the trees to the left, sort of surrounding this field as well. And the great thing is that the beam is a really nice sort of 180-degree beam. So you can just see where you're going all into your peripherals. So this is a maintainable output as well. So it will hold this output. All right. And this is more than sufficient for a walking light. That's tons and tons of light that will last you 2.5 hours. Okay. Now if you want turbo, look at that. It even sort of tints those trees a little bit out the back, but you know, it's good to know that you have it when it's when you need it. A little boost of power, and it will give you about 30 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds before it starts stepping down to a more sustainable output. But the good thing is once it starts stepping down, you can turn it off, turn it back on, reactivate that turbo again, get another run at it if you need. Off, on, it's on the high mode, and turbo. I'll go for a little stroll to show you the beam profile. Wuben XO in brass. It's the lowest mode, you can't even really see it. Second mode, okay, that's very usable, even as a walking light. Okay, ramp it up another notch. Okay, so you pretty much got these three modes. Okay, the third mode is also sustainable. Okay, double press to get to turbo. Wow. Okay, now we're talking.